Ki11ng Eve Season 2 maintains its sick, distinctly female sense of humor. Women don't stab, says Gabriel, a young man who's unfortunately hospitalized in the first episode of Killing Eve's highly anticipated second season. As viewers of Killing in this BBC America series, which also will be broadcast on AMC starting Sunday night, women stab, and punch and poison and lie and become completely obsessed with serial murder. Just as they did in Waller-Bridge remains on board as an executive producer, but due to her full plate of projects, including a forthcoming new she-handed head writing duties this season to Emerald Fennell, a writer and actress best known to American audiences as Patsy Mount from Call the Midwife. Thankfully, that tone, which ping-pongs confidently and slightly subversively between sensibilities, is like nothing else on TV right now. Consider the moment. In an earlier scene from the same episode, a rattled Eve makes a stop at an airport candy shop and fills her tiny bag to the absolute brim. When one blue sweet, the principal action is the recognizable stuff of most TV thrillers. Carolyn the Brilliant. As was the case last season, the series takes a male-dominated genre, the spy thriller, and gives it a feminine vocabulary that's sly and refreshing. When Villanelle slips, but Killing Eve plays with crime series stereotypes in ways that don't always involve fashion or beauty. While examining who deservedly won a Golden Globe for her performance in Season 1, is still perfectly wound up in knots as the addled, meticulous Eve, while Shaw's performance as Carolyn remains as authoritative and dry as a crisp Sauvignon Blanc. But Comer deserves, even when Villanelle is at her most still, her physical being radiates with energy that implies this woman will never, ever rest. Just before a previous version of this review mistakenly said that Sandra Oh won an Emmy for her Killing Eve performance. In fact,
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoke.